Man, will the real Joel Embiid stand up? And is it time to bring Tobias Harris off the bench? And what's up with the 76ers culture? Man, John said some crazy things about it off the screen.
You are Locked On 76ers, your daily Philadelphia 76ers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for making Locked On 76ers your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. That's $150, win or lose. Visit FanDuel.com/locked-on to get started. Hello, I'm Keith Pompey, and this is my right-hand man, John Mitchell, with a co-host of Locked On 76ers. We got a lot to talk about. Will Joel Embiid stand up? Now, we get it. We know that Joel Embiid has a bum knee. We know that Joel Embiid has eye issues, right? We know all types of things are going on. But he's the reigning MVP. He's the most dominant player on the offensive player in the league. He's had 50 points in game 3. He's averaging 37 points. He's going to have to produce. He can't just shoot 3 for 18 in the fourth quarter. So I know I'm getting long-winded, but we're going to talk about that. Then we got to talk about Tobias Harris, and we got to talk about Sixers culture. So, Mitch, before I just keep babbling, what's up with Joel, man? Is he going to stand up or what?
I don't know, man, Keith. I'm concerned about that. You know, I need to see the tallest man, the 7'2", 280-pound guy, start playing like that in the fourth quarter, man. You know, I mean, just looking at some of the numbers, Joel scored 1 point in the last 2 fourth quarters. Joel Embiid has 2 rebounds in the fourth quarter in the entire series. You know, and the whole thing is, as great as Joel is, and we all know what he can do, well, now is the time to do it. You know, you're 48 minutes away from being eliminated to a team that is obviously going to get eliminated in the next few rounds, but it's New York, so you want to beat them. So they're having their moment, you know. But Joel just has to stop making himself so small. You know, he can't get to the fourth quarter and play like he's the same size as Tyrese Maxey. You know, I know he likes to hit that jump shot, but every year in the playoffs, we see Joel in these disappointing playoffs. We see Joel Embiid, as good as he is, drifting away from the basket. You know, and I know it's his game. He's probably got the best mid-range jumper of any big man we've seen in this game. But, you know, when you absolutely have to score and they need buckets, go inside and make the Knicks foul you. Stop making yourself a midget, man. You know, and we, like I said, we've seen this before. When they lost to Miami 2 years ago, who were the Heat guarding him with? P.J. Tucker, 6'5", 6'6", maybe. And by the way, that's another bad Daryl Morey decision. You know, and now the Celtics. You know, last year, the Celtics in games 6 and 7 were guarding him with guards. So teams kind of know when that fourth quarter comes around, Joel's going to play, you know, he's going to fade out to the basket. Don't waste your size. You know, if he's playing away from the basket, he can't get rebounds, man. You know, and last game was a perfect example. The Knicks didn't have Mitchell Robinson. And Hartenstein, whatever his damn name is, played 2 seconds in the fourth quarter because, and this really hurt because Joel was getting him in foul trouble. And you're saying to yourself, well, this is a strategy. Get the only big man they have, the reputable big man they have out there, and get him out the game and just go to work, play bully ball in the fourth quarter. And you know what happened? The Knicks winded up guarding him with Precious Achiuwa and Obi-Wan Kenobi, basically midgets, standing next to him on the floor. And he went 0 for 5, man. I mean, the Sixers just have too many non-Joel Embiid moments when Joel Embiid is on the floor. And what I mean by that is, we know what the numbers have looked like in the first 3 quarters when he's on the court. But when he's on the court in the fourth quarter, it doesn't matter. Man, that tells you something. That tells you something about this guy.
Yeah. You raised a good point. But instead of saying the word midget, I'm gonna say little people, little
persons, man. When you're 7'2",
yeah, I know. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna say that. I'm just saying that. Because I don't want people coming after you, but I'm just gonna say that.
He's like Gulliver tied up by the Lilliputians in the fourth quarter, man. Let's be real, bro.
But here's the deal. No, you're right. Here's the deal. Now, my thing is, I felt like that last game, like I just knew when Harkenstein got in foul trouble. To be honest with you, that kind of bailed him out. I just knew he was going straight beast mode. He was going to do whatever he could, will him to win. Like, I just knew it. And then he was drifting out. And I was like, man. But then I looked at it and I started saying, the dude is gassed. Whenever he gets gassed,
everybody's tired.
Everybody's
tired.
Yeah, I know. But when he gets tired, he goes out in the perimeter and he just stands there. He doesn't move. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he just gets the ball. Like, there's no cutting, there's no moving, there's no nothing, no high post. He just standing there waiting for you to give him the ball, right? And like you said, it makes it easy to defend. Like in the fourth quarters of these series, as dominant as Joel Embiid has been through 3 quarters, he's only shooting 3 for 18 in the fourth quarter.
Woo!
3 for 18. 3 for 18. Now, the thing that's been bailing him out a lot has been getting to the foul line. But worse than shooting 3 for 18, he only has 2 rebounds?
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter. So you're right.
That's a problem.
Will the real Joel Embiid stand up? And I get it. I understand the need. I understand the eye. I give him credit for playing with all that, but he's playing with all that. So it's kind of like, you had 50 points the one day game. You're averaging 30 plus. You're averaging 9 rebounds. So it's kind of like you got to play.
Yeah, you got to play. You're playing 40 minutes a game, man. And keen observers of the game will look at him and say, you're not playing dominant basketball late in games. You're not doing what because you have a high basketball IQ. You make free throws as well as any big man we've seen in league history. And if you want to slow a team's momentum, and if you want to change the game up, get yourself some free points at the rim. It's common sense. And a perfect example of it, people keep comparing him to Nikola Jokic. Jokic does that. Jokic will play out on the perimeter, but when you put a Lilliputian on him, he's taking him to the weight room and dropping the barbell on his head. You know what I mean? It's none of this, I think I can hit a 3-pointer and be successful. And Joel, because when if you're tired, your legs go. And that makes shooting jump shots even more difficult, Makes your shooting even more difficult. And for him to be standing out there shooting jumpers, attempting jumpers, granted, you can make them. That's wonderful. But listen, bro, this is not December 2nd in Charlotte. This is the first round of the playoffs against, a team, that plays a feisty team of overachievers. But you have to play hard and committed and dedicated. And if you really know what you're looking at, you know what you're seeing out of Joel Embiid. For as good as he is, you're seeing some kitty cat.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, you know,
I hear
let's
you.
let's call it what it is. But listen, want to make mom smile? Start Mother's Day with flowers or surprise her with gifts from the brand she loves, delivered the very same day with DoorDash. Moms are a gift, so give her the best this Mother's Day. Get gifts as thoughtful as she is with DoorDash. Select from hundreds of expertly crafted bouquets to the best of tech, to self-care, essentials, and more, delivered right to her door. Does she have a sweet tooth? Is she a beauty connoisseur? Is she outdoorsy? No matter what she's into, you can make her smile with a fruit or flower bouquet, makeup, tech gear, workout wear, and more. So get all your Mother's Day gifts all in one place. Get 50% off your next order, up to $15 when you spend $15 or more on your next flower, convenience, grocery, or retail order. And don't forget to code Locked On NBA. That's Locked On NBA. Order using DoorDash today. Terms apply.
Definitely do it.
Are, are you watching Fox Sports or ESPN on your TV all day? Have to turn down the volume with all the shouting? Make the switch to Locked On Sports today, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel programmed for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming. Locked On Sports today brings you can't miss analysis, opinions, and news, streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Every day. So listen, we talked about Joel Embiid. Now we got to talk about Tobias Harris. Right now, we talked about Joel, and you look at Tobias. You look at what's going on. Been doing a lot of thought. I know Tobias isn't playing well at all. He's not. You look at it. So here's the thing. I'm gonna break this down to you. So Joel Embiid is averaging 35 points, 9 rebounds, 5.5 assists, in 40.1 minutes this series. All-star point guard Tyrese Maxey has been the team's only other consistent scoring threat. He's averaging 29 points and 6.8 assists in 43.3 minutes, right? So I believe to extend the series, the Sixers need to figure out a way to generate scoring when Embiid's out of the game, right? So one option would be to alter the starting lineup. I believe that they could start Nico Batum in place of Tobias Harris or Kelly Oubre Jr. I feel like as a 3-and-D forward, Nico doesn't need the ball. The Sixers could assign him to cover Jalen Brunson, or Josh Hart. Offensively, he could stretch the floor as a catch-and-shoot threat from the three-point line, right? Now, coming off the bench, in my opinion, would enable Tobias Harris to get ample touches and be a primary scoring option when Embiid's on the bench. Because playing alongside Embiid and Maxey has been, he's been underutilized. He's also been not taking advantage of the opportunities, too. We're going to be real.
Yeah.
But when he does get the ball, it's often late in the shot clock, leading to rush attempts. The power forward is the team's 5th leading scorer, averaging 8.8 points on 39.5% shooting. Mitch, he has only made 3 of 12 3-pointers. Now, all this is a major drop-off from the 7.2 points he averaged in the regular season. So to me, and I believe that they got to bring him off the bench to get him some touches, get him involved, because he goes from being a 3rd leading scorer to the 5th. The 5th.
I'm sorry, you said 17.2 is what he averaged in the season?
Yep, in the regular season. Yep.
Yeah. And to drop off that scoring average, to drop by 9 points in the postseason is inexcusable, man. And I think that I like the suggestion, and you know, I would hope Nick Nurse might even consider it, man. I mean, he did the right thing in benching Duddy Hield. You know, he did that was absolutely the right thing to do to bench him. But you have to get Tobias started because again, it's do or die. You know, and I've seen a lot of him standing around in the corner, you know, in the deep corner, waiting for the ball. And like you said, his 3-point shots not falling. And to beat a team like the New York Knicks, because New York's completely comfortable scoring 92. They're completely comfortable playing 1990s basketball. Give us a 92, 93-point game. We're fine with that. The Sixers, when healthy, were averaging 120, 121 points per game. So they've got the personnel. You've got to score on this team. And I think he needs to attack the basket, man.
Who, Tobias?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. I mean, yeah, he has to. I mean, he got to be near the dunker position. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of ways that they got to get him involved. I mean, like, you know, my thing is, if they don't do something for him now,
Well, he's played his last game as a Sixer. If you don't do something for him now,
yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know how much that matters for him because they've given him $180 million. So, you know, again, you know, I would like to see Tobias be just you know, we've seen him during this season. I mean, he was constantly our whipping boy. You know, up 1 minute, down the next, up 1 minute, down the next. But right now, you got to give him something. Give him 19, 20 points. Make somebody have to guard. You know, make somebody pull one of them 6'5" defenders off of Joel and draw him to you. You know, and you know, I would like to see. The whole fan base would like it because he's underachieved. He's 8 points per game, shooting the ball at a miserable 30-something% clip. That's unacceptable, man. That's unacceptable for a guy who gave you 17 points per game in the regular season.
Yeah, it's disheartening, and you know, I mean, you said something before we got on, and I'm wondering if that's what it is. Like, is he tuned out at this particular point? You know, we'll see.
I mean, it's going. You know, I mean, I did my 20 years in NBA locker rooms, man. I know what I'm looking at. You know, we at this point, it comes down to your pride as a basketball player, not your pride as a person. Not your character as a person, because we know he has elite character as a person, you know, away from the basketball court. But bruh, you collected 180 mil, you know, and you are a good basketball player. You know, I'm not questioning Tobias. He's going, you know, like him or not, Tobias is going to be rewarded with another succulent contract. You know what I mean? And but today is do or die day. You know, you want to go up there and rub it in Spike Lee's orange glasses wearing face, man, and make him come back to Philly. You know what I mean?
And be quiet before them Knicks fans come at you again. They're gonna come after the light skinned dude.
Yeah, they're gonna come after the red bone. They're gonna come after the red bone. I think they suffering some kind of post-traumatic stress syndrome, man. You know, I think they were more happy about winning, about the fans showing up and not getting punked like they do at Lincoln Financial Field. You know, so often they come down here with their wives and their girlfriends from New York, and they go home without them. You know, you know, I'm not condoning the behavior of Philadelphia fans, but I think that has caused some sort of post-traumatic stress trauma in these guys, man. They come down here, and you know, so they saw that they know Philly fans, because Philly fans, give us credit for being wise. They know that most of the fans know this check out.
But dude, I will admit, they were like that house guest that didn't want to leave. And you were scared. But like, dude, I'm telling you, I keep telling everybody, when I drove in the parking lot hour before the game, and I'm seeing Knicks fans in their lawn chairs chilling at the grill. They look, Pops is drinking beers, him and his boys. The kids out there playing football, and then you look like, dang, where the Sixers fans at?
Where they at?
It was like they might as well took a flag and said, "Boom, this is my house."
But it's good. It's good to see, though. It's good to see a rivalry between New York. You know, and I know I take jabs at it, man, but it's all love, man. It's good to see.
It was crazy, though, bro. It was crazy.
one thing
I've never seen anything like that before.
Nah.
Never. Not especially not coming from where we come from. Like
Right.
we was always told, don't ever go down there with your opposing team stuff on. You
Ever.
gonna get it.
And we
But it
grew
was
up
so many
here.
of them that they couldn't do anything. It was like it was crazy. So
I turned it real quick. I'm gonna get to this FanDuel read, man. But I was I turned on. I was watching WFAN and Tiki Barber and some redheaded hillbilly he does a show with up there. Even he was talking trash. He was talking about the fans might as well have urinated on Wilt Chamberlain's statue, man. It's just like I said, some redheaded hillbilly. I don't know who he is, but he's doing a show with Tiki Barber, Mr. High Character himself. And I was just like, man, come on. You know, y'all can't take this from these people. But it's all in good fun. You know, they take their barbs at us. I mean, again, the last time they won a championship, Spike Lee was 16 years old, and Richard Milhouse Nixon had yet to be impeached. So, but you know what? It's playoff time in the NBA and NHL. Baseball's in full swing, and FanDuel is your place to bet on every single game. Right now, customers get $150 in bonus bets, guaranteed. That's $150 win or lose. Bet on everything from slap shots to home runs to slam dunk. All on the app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make your first bet an automatic win. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Do it today.
Definitely do it today, folks. Yeah, nothing else to do besides watch the Sixers play the Brooklyn Nets at Wells Fargo Center North. Nah, I doubt it'll be like that, though. I doubt if it be that way.
It ain't gonna be Wells Fargo Center North.
It ain't gonna be that. It ain't gonna be that way. So Mitch, let's talk about this though. Let's talk about the culture of the Sixers. So the thing about the Sixers, like Kelly Oubre's playing hard. We know Kyle Lowry is a tough guy. But it's weird because they look soft, man. The culture.
Yeah.
The culture, and this ain't the first, man. It's always like the crazy part is, and I hate sounding like a broken record, but a couple years, 2 years ago, they played the Miami Heat 2 years ago, and they were getting smacked all over. And everybody said, we got to go get these tough guys.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid said, I want PJ Tucker. They bring PJ Tucker in.
I never liked that decision, but go ahead.
But he brought PJ in, tough-minded dude. They bring in Daniel House. Basically, James Harden took less money so they could bring in his buddies, protectors, and all this stuff. Then this year, they got rid of PJ, but they got Pat Bev, they got Marcus Morris, Luke Morris in the trade.
Yeah.
Finally, we like, they got tough-minded dudes, a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then playoffs look like they getting out physical. Because when you look at the New York Knicks, nothing against go New York, go whatever, or to go Knicks, whatever they say, let's go Knicks. But they got one dude. And it's like they utilize him like they used to utilize Allen Iverson. And what I mean by that is it's like, bro, you're going to get all the shots. You're going to do all this. Yeah. You got to carry us. The rest of it's going to be hard hats. We got Josh Hart. He going to maybe hit some threes. The other that, this and that.
Or he might grab 17 boards.
Yeah, he going. But see, that's want to. That's will.
Yeah.
That's heart.
Yeah.
That's physicality.
Yeah.
And the Sixers just seem like they're lacking. They got the two dudes scoring a bunch of points. One dude struggling to make a field goal out of them in the fourth quarter, and everybody else is just there. Now, Kelly has been playing okay the last two games. Campaign shows you something in game 3. Yeah.
But like you said, Keith, is culture. Why? I still think Buddy Hield is an NBA player. I do. But why does he come here? Has he come here and just gotten comfortable and said, I'm just going to ride this out and get to free agency and let the chips fall where they may? Or why does he not have an aggressive and assertive mindset now playing for the Sixers? And like you said, man, watching Game 4 at Wells Fargo Center, it felt very eerie. Like you said, like watching Game 6 in Miami. I felt a whole lot like watching Game 6 last year against Boston when they jumped out to that big lead. They were up 3-2 in their building and jumped out early on Boston. A chance to, put the dagger in there through their heart. And, that they went kitty cat on us, man. It's kind of like, even when it doesn't matter who the coach is, the 76ers tend to go kitty cat very often, man. They when they played Atlanta and blowing those 20 those, even though you had the Ben Simmons fiasco taking place right in front of our eyes, the incredible shrinking man. But no matter what, they had 20-point leads and blew them, man. And that, like it or not, that speaks to a soft culture, man. It speaks to a soft culture. I'm not even, and it speaks to some ineptitude, what they're willing to accept in that building, man. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, ownership, is extremely wealthy. They've got football teams now in Washington, hockey teams. What about this, really? What about what's up with the culture here? You got Daryl Moore, the guy you wanted here at first. You got him. And I don't know, man. It's just, it comes from the top down. And right now, it's kitty cat culture.
Yeah.
And you juxtapose it against watching Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley. The Sixers have had uniquely gifted. They've had the smallest, most deadly two guard maybe in the history of the league. They've had the best 6'4" rebounder and probably in the history of the league. And they've got the 7'2" guy who has the best mid-range jump shots and say Richard Hamilton. But they don't put the right players around them. You gotta, and that's why the only one, they've got this 41-year championship drought, exceeded only by the half-century drought by the New York Knicks. But I digress. The culture's not right. Culture needs.
You keep bringing it back.
I just want to remind them who they are. So when they so
all right, let me ask you this: Who was the backcourt for the Knicks when they won it? Am I putting you on the spot?
Was that Clyde and John Bartram High School's finest, Earl the Pearlman Row?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just funny.
Their best players versus Philly then, just as their best players have Philly connection now. But that's why it even hurts even more. But go ahead. Culture.
And let me ask you this: it's funny they talk about they put the Knicks jersey on Wilt, but Wilt hung 100 on him.
Wilt hung 100 on him.
Look, y'all, I don't have a dog in this race. I'm just having fun. But nah, I do. John Bartram finest. He was a part of that team.
HBC.
Yo, he the man. He got his jersey retired by 2 different organizations. The only player in the NBA. Like, well, you know how like certain players, like, they everybody retired their jersey, but he's the only one. Like, what was it? The Bullets or Baltimore Bullets or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then
they love him.
Yeah, that's the man. Winston-Salem State.
Yeah, Pearl's bad, man. Pearl's bad.
Yeah, he was bad. Earl the Pearl.
Bad.
Earl the Pearl. But look, y'all, we want to thank y'all for listening and everything. We had a great time chatting. We'll see what's going to happen tonight, man. I don't like. I'm a little keep going back and forth. Like if the Sixers got pride, you feel like they would come out and fight. But sometimes players know, especially when you got so many players in the final years of the deal know, like, yo, this is about to end. 1, 2, 3,
It's
Cancun.
about to end, and
So,
that is
so
NBA.
yeah, so let's see. But look, Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on Amazon Fire TV and the free Fire TV channel app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On Plus or national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today now available on a free Fire TV channel app. So watch the game, enjoy the game, see what happens. It's going to be a crazy day, a crazy night, rather. Sixers win. They bring it back to Philly for Game 6 in Madison Garden, MSG South, we'll call it. So we'll see. Maybe it may be less fans because it's going to be on a Thursday night. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Let's focus on Tuesday night.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But look, I like to say goodbye and have a blessed one to y'all.
Peace.
Peace.